Hey everybody, this is Big Daddy D with another Down and Dirty food review. Today I want to talk to you about a restaurant called Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Apparently this place is a really big chain in Texas, so my review is probably not going to be the best that they would hope for, but I give them the benefit of the doubt that because it is a Texas chain and this restaurant was not in Texas, that the quality assurance probably is not as good as it would have been if it's in their home state. So having said that, so we went there and we got a pound of ribs, a pound of moist brisket, and a pound of regular brisket, which they referred to as lean brisket. And of course, then you could get sides of like baked beans or cold slaw and some stuff like that. I think we got some cold slaw also. First of all, let me start off with the ribs. The ribs, they were pork ribs, and you expect to have a little fat on the pork ribs, but these had a lot of fat. In fact, they were really greasy. In fact, the taste of the fat kind of overpowered the taste of the ribs. It was almost like they had cut these ribs and maybe they were at the bottom of the pan soaking in grease the whole time. But I was definitely disappointed because I like ribs. Now, the moist brisket was very tender. It had a pretty good flavor. It had some fat on it too, not as much as the ribs, but it was okay. And then the lean brisket was, I think, probably the best. It had a very good flavor. In fact, I found out afterwards that that's kind of what their signature is, that they really into the smoky flavor of smoking stuff. So it really had a really good flavor to it. You know, I could see myself putting that on a bun with some Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. But speaking of barbecue sauce, they had two different barbecue sauces there. One was spicy and the one was probably less spicy. I didn't care too much for their barbecue sauces because they were very much on the vinegar side, I guess. I mean, I like, vinegar, like salt and vinegar chips and stuff like that. But it was very thin sauce. It just didn't really have a really good taste to it. So I would have rather had a different barbecue sauce. We didn't eat everything that we bought because it was quite a bit. You think a pound of each is not a whole lot, but it was quite a lot. And there was 3 of us, and we still had quite a bit left over, and we ate on it for a couple of days. The restaurant was inside, kind of looked like an old barn. They had big long tables with red and white checkered cloths on them. They put everything in kind of like, I don't want to say a milk crate, but it was the thing that you put it on the tray. Imagine 2 milk crates glued together that are cut in half, or at least, maybe, you only have maybe like 6 inches from the bottom. And that's what they put some butcher block paper down and then put your meats on that. It was kind of interesting. Took it to your table. They didn't have plates, but what you did is you went over to where the condiments are and stuff like that, and you ripped off big sheets of butcher block paper and put that on the table and just kind of put your meat on that and got your knife and fork, and that was your plate. I thought that was kind of strange, but not too strange. I've eaten at crab shacks on the East Coast that do that. They put a butcher block paper on the table and give you a hammer and a bunch of crabs, and you go at it. So it was definitely unique, differently. If I ever went back, which I don't know if I will, I would definitely probably gravitate towards the normal brisket, what they referred to as the lean brisket, as opposed to the moist brisket or the ribs. But like I said, because this is supposedly a very popular Texas barbecue chain, and they focus on the flavor, the smokiness flavor of it, I cut them a little bit of slack because this restaurant was not in Texas, that maybe the quality control was just not as good as if it was in Texas. Having said that, if I ever find myself in Texas again and I do run across this restaurant, I probably would stop in and give them a try one more time to see how it is. That's all I have today, and thank you very much for looking into my channel.